Well, good morning, everybody. We drove about eight and a half hours last night from home, and we're camped right on the outskirts of Joshua Tree National Park. So we're not going into Joshua Tree. We are meeting with a realtor because what we're going to do down here is look around and see if we can find a piece of property. The real estate market in the Joshua area is really hot right now, and it seems to be continually going up. It would be certainly nice to find a very nice secluded place and find a place that you got a beautiful sky at night, you've got beautiful sunrises and sunsets, and seclusion. So stay with us. We're going to look at a bunch of property around here, see if we can find something. So come along, let's do this. Okay, we've arrived at the first place we want to look at. It's on Shangri-La Road, and it's kind of a little recreational cabin. We thought it'd be nice to set up as Airbnb. Here's what it looks like. Fence for privacy. It's definitely a cute area. The container back there is part of the property. It's 5 acres. This must be the shower, huh?
Yeah.
So,
Have turtle in it.
oh yeah.
It's cool.
But you have an outdoor shower here. You've got a nice fire pit area, and it's gas. And this is kind of a recreational little room. Jackalope.com. Oh my God, quite a few artist type people. And I'm not sure what the other container's for, but it's probably for storage. So we confirmed it's 5 acres, so I'm sure half the property is out there. It does have a Joshua tree. And this container, I'm sure, is for storage of all kinds of stuff. So it's just a very good shape, but completely empty. Could be used for a lot of things. Make a little house out of it. Okay, I think that gives us a good idea. It's really nicely set up, but my gut feel is I'd like something like this much further away from people. Okay, house number 2. This is 800 square feet. Looks like it's on a metal frame. It's either 2.5 or 5 acres.
I think
Got the sun, that's east, sunset over here. So the front deck. It's got a big window on the back for letting light in. It's got a nice circle drive. Little, really tight, but it's all right. Too bad we can't see inside. I don't think there's a lot to see from the pictures. It's insulated, I know that.
it's not big.
Home of the rising sun. So yes, your sun would come up over here. You could make this an Airbnb, I think. Put some big windows on the sides so you get a lot of light in. It's enough room to make a second story. You could have a loft, a second story in there very easily. It's actually quite a bit of space.
I think they do the improper.
Well, hey there, folks. We came off a really sharp ledge here up on the panoramic hills above Joshua Tree, and we had a little mishap. The awning detached from the van and tore off the side. It doesn't look like it scratched things up too much, but we've got to take the bars off the upper part in order to try and put this thing on top, because it's 10 feet long. These bars up here, we can't lay it across here, and hopefully it's not on top of our solar panels. So we're going to start working on taking off these 2 bars and find a way to strap this thing up here. Well, hopefully that got it. We've got it bolted down in the front, so I was able to find some of those slotted holes and bolt the thing down in the front. So I got the back end strapped, and I'm hoping this is going to hold. So this is 10 acres, and it really does have a beautiful view. Wonderful sunset over here, which this probably doesn't do justice, this little camera. You missed it, honey. So she's trying to jump and catch it in the air. But this is pretty nice. It's one of the better ones we've seen today because it is so confusing out here. There's so many places to see, so many varying prices. Up in the top of those hills, the panoramic area is really what I'd love to get something, but it was very few. There were 2 lots, a little over an acre each. One and a quarter acre was 150,000. They were crammed in. 1 and a quarter acre doesn't give you much. This is what you really want. It's where you've got vast desert around you. And water, solar, you can do solar. You got electricity right there with this pole if you wanted to do that. So, I don't know, I'm kind of encouraged about this spot. It's very quiet, and it's close enough in that it may gain a lot of value. So, okay, we got one that's a checkbox to at least keep on the list. Okay, folks, we are at the Sunever property that we talked about. There's a white marker, which is a fire hydrant, that's down this way about 100, 150 yards. This is the edge of the property where Wee Wee is. That's the edge. We're going to walk out to where the property ends and then look back at the truck. So there is a wash down here. You can see some rivet lines. Definitely water flows across this property. Okay, found the stake. The far end of the property, but where that shining dot is over there is the alternate edge of the property. Seems big. Okay, folks, one more property. We found the for sale sign here. The property actually goes past the van to the corner where that creosote bush is, where that tire is across there. That's the edge. And we're going to walk down this road to the end of the property. Looks like this one consists of 2 10-acre parcels. And then, of course, you could subdivide those into 5s or 2.5s. It's got road frontage. They said water was out here, but I see nothing that indicates that's correct. It's got Joshua trees. They're spread out, but there are definitely Joshua trees on this property, which are cool. There are some restrictions around Joshua trees, but these are so few that it wouldn't be that big a deal. Okay, so from here to the van is the first 10-acre parcel. And it goes that same distance back this way by this big, nice modern house. We've got another 10 acres to go this way, which I'm assuming is that black spot up there, which is that log. So we're going to walk back to the back side of the property now. No, the back side of the first 10-acre parcel. Okay, I think this is the stake. And just to show you, it did make it all the way to this guy's property, which is a nice adobe type house and some buildings he's got set up. There's access road here. I would guess he has water on his property. He certainly has electricity. I see the power poles. To give you an idea, the van, straight over there, to here are the diagonal corners of the property. And that's the first 10 acres. The next 10 acres are over here. So it's 2 10-acre properties. So Let's walk the second 10 acres, honey. These Joshua trees on the property, which make it nice. Okay, I've made it to the other end of the second parcel. I don't think you could even see the van on this. It's basically where my finger is. But it is a vast piece of property with Joshua trees. There's also a few little roads so you can access. If you were to subdivide it into 2.5 or 5 acre parcels, you could already have access through some of these roads, not worry about any trees or anything. You can see the van down at the end of the road down there. That is the 20 acre parcel. So it goes basically to that house. Wow, that's huge. Goes to that house over there and all the way by that van where Wee Wee is outside. Okay, another adventure. We are in 29 Palms, way outside of 29 Palms, to a property that Wee Wee saw that looked really interesting. And this is the cabin. It's got 5 acres. It's cutesy, definitely cute. I guess you can't see in the windows, they have the blinds down. But it's got a little fence around this acreage, this small part of the acreage. It's just full of junk, honestly. Okay, so that was a long drive for us knowing it's not the right place. Let's move on to another one. Hey everyone. We are finding that there's a lot of remote spots that take a long time to get to that completely end up not being worth it. This was a 2.5 acre parcel surrounded on 3 sides by BLM land, so nobody could build around you. So having 2.5 acres would be kind of cool because you got the buffer zone, don't have to own it. And there was this fixer-upper cabin that we wanted to go see. Well, after driving out here, major washboard roads, look at this cabin. Isn't that something? She's a beaut. It needs a little TLC, I would say. Certainly this is not what we're looking for as an investment property. Well, we did find a piece of property and we found it online. So you're going to see what it's like to buy a piece of property online. With Google Maps, you can actually do a pretty good job of determining what your property will look like. For instance, the one that we just purchased, property line goes along where the cursor's going to about right here. It goes over to this side and straight down to here. So it's this square. It's about 4.4 acres and it's got really a big mountain or rock. Part of the property is on this rock. This flattish area up here is really interesting because that might be a neat place to set something up. You can also tell that at one time there was a greenhouse, which seems to be the thing to do in the area, but it's gone. It's got some really nice rocks along here. If you fenced it off, these ATV roads and such would go away. And I'll be very curious to climb up here and see what it looks like. But if you're looking north, that's the view. If you're looking west, where the sunset would be, the sunset would look something like this. The sun would set over here, and the sunrise would come up over in this area, over here. Predominantly, you would get a lot of sun, because the sun would be in this direction, coming across the sky like this. So it's really interesting to see on Google Earth, and we'll have to see what it looks like in person. So you're going to have to stay tuned for that. All that searching, we decided to try a little experiment, try this piece of property, and it's going to be exciting to go there and actually see in person. So stay tuned for our next video where we actually see the property for the first time.